Welcome back. Season 2, it's episode 2, week 1 of college football. But hey, season 2, PHA Picks. We're coming back at you. Last week, we debuted the beginning of a fun little thing I called My Guys. I had 20 teams picked out, used the old spinner wheel to decide who is getting my fandom for the entire year. Throughout this week, we've been putting out updates across all social media. We were down to 5 teams as of yesterday. And on today's show, at the end of it, you're going to have to stick around. You're going to find out who is my guy my team for this year. It's going to be a huge announcement. But before we get to that, we got to get to the picks, guys. You're here for the picks. This is the Pick'em, okay? Huge slate of college football. Last week was a little bit of a weak slate. We did go 0-3, but that's fine, okay? It was just a little wet the beak action, all right? We just had to get a little taste of it. You know, we had to get the rust off a little bit, and that's fine, you know, because last year, if you recall, we started out hot, and then we kind of mediocre the rest of the year, right? Well, we started ice cold. Maybe now we'll flip over and be crazy hot the whole year. Like I said, though, a huge slate of games. I really wish I would have got some picks out for you guys for Thursday, Friday, which if you follow the rest of our social media, podcasts, anything like that, you did get those picks. So for all of you that have done that, kudos to you. You've won some money this week already. But we're going to get into the Saturday, Sunday, Monday slate. Yes, that's right. Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Absolute bonkers, right? And we're just going to start it off, guys. First one out the gate. I got Bowling Green, UCLA, over 57. Chip Kelly with the visor. He's going to be putting up a ton of points. They may score 57 by themselves in this game. Look for it to be a high-scoring matchup, especially with that UCLA offense. Tons of talent. DTR at quarterback coming back for his last year. It's going to be huge. Bowling Green, a MAC school. They're always a little sneaky. Watch out. They may put some points up too. Another one here. Big hammer play for me on this one. I got North Carolina, App State. At App State, it's a pick 'em right now for the money line. But we're going over 56. I gave out this one on the Gains and Gambling earlier in the week. You should have seen that. UNC played an HBCU school last week, FAMU, who literally only housed half of their team because the other half just refused to play. They still gave up 24 points, got ran all over. App State, a serious team. This one's going way over 56 by my prediction and almost everyone else. Next one I got, one I put out on the podcast, Kentucky minus 16. If they're for real this year, they've got to win this game against Miami of Ohio by at least 16 points. And actually, literally before I started the show, I already looked it up again. The line's actually already down to 15. So kudos to all of you that didn't take it earlier in the week when I said 16, because it is down to 15 now. Next one I got Rutgers at Boston College, 2 hard-nosed defensive coaches. It's going to be a battle up there in the East, the Northeast, New England maybe. If you want to, New England, Boston College, Boston. Under 48's the pick here. I don't have a ton other than that. I just know both these coaches are definitely hard-nosed guys, and it's going to be a scrappy game up there in the Northeast. Next one, we're going with our military academies here. Navy, always a great team. Always, a little bit interesting with that offense. We're going minus 12.5 in their game. Air Force, a team I talked about as a future. I love them. They have 15 returning starters. I love them, minus 15.5. The next game has been a tough one for me all week. I talked about it on the podcast. Kyle, a little bit with his explanation, got me leaning one direction, and then I started hearing a lot in the media, and the more I thought about it, the more I was like, you know what, just go with your gut. I'm going Arkansas minus 6.5 over Cincinnati. Fickle's a great coach, but new offense. They had 2 generational talents for that program last year in Sauce Gardner and Ritter. I don't see how Cincinnati can keep up with Arkansas when this is Arkansas's year. So I'll take them minus 6.5. Houston, minus 4. They have a tough game against UTSA. On the pod, I believe I said I was going to do the money line parlay with BYU, but here we're going to give you Houston minus 4. And I actually think it was 5.5 when we did the podcast. So there you go. Ole Miss, they just got transfer from USC at quarterback. He's going to be a huge, huge addition for Kiffin there at Ole Miss. For the life of me, I cannot think of his freaking name, but it literally sounds like a freaking superhero name. It's Jackson Dart. There we go. Jackson Dart at Ole Miss. Yeah, tell me that doesn't sound like a football player. Minus 21.5 in their home opener. I got BYU minus 12. Been huge on them also. I'm going to love them all year, even though they do have a really tough schedule. Utah, I didn't take them early on my card in the week, but they're already down to -2.5 after opening up at 4. I will take Utah -2.5 at the Swamp against a new coach in Florida. Utah has a ton returning. Love them a ton. I got Louisville -4.5 against Syracuse. Louisville, I think, is just, they're going to be taking the next step this year. They have a huge recruiting class coming in for next year. Look at them to crack the top 15 next year, but this is the building block year for them. I got University of Louisiana Monroe against Texas over 64.5 would be the biggest total that I take on the card. Texas, I just trust their offense. Really, they have a top-tier running back. They have a top-tier receiver. Ewers is really the only question mark there at quarterback, and he's the most highly touted quarterback in the last 40 years. So I'll take my chances for them to get a big win here and hit the over, specifically after what happened last year with Texas and Louisiana Monroe. And then to cap off the card, my biggest play the entire week, LSU, Florida State. It is in New Orleans at the Superdome. I'm going to take LSU -2.5 in what is honestly a home game for them. Brian Kelly, new coach there. You guys know that I am a huge Notre Dame fan in general. He left to go to LSU. He still has a great offense. He's a mastermind, honestly. The defense might be questionable, but Florida State has not been good for a long time. And again, it's in New Orleans, an hour away from Baton Rouge. So we'll take LSU -2.5. That sweeps the card. 14 picks. We're bound to go at least 10-4. That's a fact. But now for the big one. Here to just wrap up the show real quick. My guys, we're down to 5 teams. We had Texas, Louisville, NC State, Utah, LSU. The wheel decided every single bit of it. And honestly, the team that we got was a team, if you asked me 6 months ago, not even 6, 4 months ago, I've been like, absolutely not, can't do it. But the more I simmered on it after the spin wheel, the more I'm like, you know what? I think I can get behind this. I've always kind of liked them anyway, but some of the changes that happened in the offseason for them really made me just be like, I don't know if I can root for this team because I feel a little bit gutted from what happened. But then I thought, you know what? It was good for my team in Notre Dame, so why not just add them in and, make them my guys? So who's the team that's going to be getting all my fandom this year? Well, it's been on screen the whole time, guys. LSU. Go Tigers. Here we go. Go Tigers is where we're going for the whole year, and we got huge stuff coming this year. We may even, sneak peek, have a video coming at you from Baton Rouge, Louisiana this year so we can rep our Tigers. One last time, let's just do it. Go Tigers!